Ever wonder why some days feel like a battle? Hey there, let's kick things off with a question that might hit close to home. Have you ever wondered why some days feel like a never-ending battle? Picture this, you're rushing to work, your coffee sloshing in your hand, and you hit a traffic jam that's testing every ounce of your patience. Cars honking, time ticking, and you're already late. Or maybe you're at the office, trying to focus, but a coworker's annoying habits, like their constant pen tapping or loud phone conversations, are grinding on your nerves. Or how about this? You're on an important call, maybe with a client or a loved one, and right in the middle of a crucial moment, your phone battery dies, leaving you staring at a blank screen, frustration bubbling up. Sound familiar? Life's full of these little moments that rattle our calm, those tiny sparks that threaten to set our whole day on fire. It's so easy to let them throw us off track, to spiral into stress or irritation, feeling like the universe is out to get us. But here's the twist. What if I told you there's a way to not just survive these days, but to thrive through them, to turn those frustrations into fuel for something better? That's exactly where we're headed today, diving deep into an ancient wisdom called Stoicism that's been a secret weapon for some of the world's greatest minds for centuries. We're talking about emperors like Marcus Aurelius, who ruled an empire while facing wars and betrayal, or philosophers like Epictetus, who started life as a slave but found freedom through his mind. These were people who faced chaos, real, gritty chaos, and came out stronger, not by fighting the world, but by mastering themselves. Stoicism isn't some dusty old idea. It's a practical toolkit for navigating life's messiness with grace. I'm taking you on a journey to uncover how Stoicism can transform those daily frustrations into golden opportunities for growth and inner peace. By the end of this adventure, you'll have practical tools you can start using right now, today, even, to build a more resilient, fulfilling life. This isn't about pretending the tough stuff doesn't happen, because let's be real, it does, and it will. It's about mastering how you handle it, how you show up in the face of it all. So, stick with me, because this is going to be a ride worth taking, one that might just change how you see your days. If you're vibing with this so far, if you feel that spark of curiosity, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it means you won't miss a single step of the transformation we're about to explore. Let's get started and see how this ancient wisdom can change your world, one small shift at a time. Facing the fire. Why anger hits us all. Alright, let's dive in. Every single day, we're hit with moments that spark anger, and you know what? That's okay, because feeling that fire is part of being human. Maybe it's that driver who cuts you off on your morning commute, leaving you gripping the steering wheel so hard your knuckles turn white, muttering under your breath as your heart races. Or perhaps it's a snarky comment from someone, a coworker, a friend, or even a stranger, that stings more than it should, like a little jab to your pride that you can't shake off. We've all been there, right? That familiar heat rises in your chest, your pulse quickens, and it feels like reacting. Snapping back, honking the horn, letting it all out, is the only option. It's almost instinctual, like a reflex you can't control. But here's where Stoicism steps in with some profound wisdom that can totally flip the script on how we handle these moments. These wise folks, the ancient Stoics who lived through some seriously tough times, taught us something game-changing. While we can't always control what happens, like the traffic, other people's words, or life's unexpected curveballs, we can control how we respond. That's the real power, my friend, the kind that shifts everything. It's not about dodging the anger or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about looking it in the eye and deciding what to do with it. Let's break that down. Think about the last time something set you off. Maybe you spilled your coffee all over your desk right before a big meeting, or your internet crashed in the middle of a deadline. That frustration starts to take the wheel, steering you straight into a bad mood. But what if, instead of letting it drive, you paused? Just for a second, took a deep breath, and asked yourself, how can I handle this? What's the best way to move forward? Stoicism sees these fiery moments as chances to practice virtues that make us better. Patience to weather the storm, understanding to see beyond the surface, and resilience to keep going no matter what. It's like a workout for your soul, one that builds strength with every rep. Every time you choose to respond with intention instead of exploding in the heat of the moment, you're getting stronger, more grounded, more in control of your own story. I've had my share of these moments, and trust me, I know how hard it can be. There was a day when a coworker's endless chatter, just going on and on about nothing while I was trying to focus, pushed me right to the edge. I could feel that irritation creeping up, ready to snap, but I paused, took a breath, and realized something. Their chatter wasn't really about me. It was their stress, their way of coping, not my burden to carry. That shift in perspective. It was liberating, like letting go of a weight I didn't need to hold. Suddenly, I could smile, nod, and get back to my work without losing my cool. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. Those moments when you choose calm over chaos start to add up, and they change you in ways you'll feel deep down. This Stoic approach isn't about being perfect or never feeling angry. We're human, after all. It's about giving yourself the power to decide what comes next, to turn a spark into a lesson instead of a wildfire. Imagine how different your day could look if you met frustration with a steady hand, if you saw every irritation as a chance to grow. That's what we're diving into today, and there's so much more to uncover about how this ancient wisdom can work for you. So, let's keep exploring. There's a whole world of Stoic tools waiting to help you navigate life's fires with grace. Mastering the mind. What Stoics teach about reactions. Now, let's dig deeper into what makes this Stoic approach so powerful. It's a game-changer once you wrap your head around it. Picture this. Philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, guys who didn't just read about tough times but lived through them, wars tearing apart their world, exile stripping them of comfort, shared a big idea that flips how we see our emotions, especially anger. They said our feelings don't come straight from the events swirling around us, like some automatic trigger. Nope, it's all about the judgments we slap onto those events, the stories we tell ourselves in the heat of the moment. Let that sink in for a second. Pause. It's not the fact that someone cuts you off in traffic that sets you off, it's what you say to yourself about it, like, they shouldn't do that. Or, this is ruining my whole day. Or even, I deserve better than this. The Stoics saw that as the real battleground, the place where true power lies, not in changing the world, but in changing those thoughts. So, let's put this into action. Next time you feel that anger bubbling up, like a pot about to boil over, try asking yourself a couple of questions. What am I judging here? What story am I telling myself about this? And then, is there another way to see it? Maybe that driver who zoomed past wasn't just being rude. Perhaps they're rushing to an emergency, their mind racing with worry, not malice. Or maybe it's a gentle nudge for you to chill out, to let go of the need to control every second of your commute. I've been there myself. Once, I got mad at a delayed flight, sitting there stewing, convinced it was a personal attack on my carefully laid plans. My mind was spinning with, this shouldn't happen, and I'm going to miss everything. But then I shifted my thinking to, this is out of my hands, and that's okay, and you know what? The tension melted away. I even ended up chatting with a fellow passenger, turning a frustrating wait into a connection. It's not about suppressing that feeling, let the anger be there, acknowledge it like an old friend, but understanding where it's coming from. That understanding opens a door to grow, to stretch yourself in ways you didn't expect. This idea isn't just about calming your own storms, it ripples out to others too. When you start seeing your anger as a judgment you can shift, you begin to connect with people who struggle with the same fiery moments. Maybe that coworker who snapped at you was having a rough day, not targeting you. I've had a friend lash out once, and instead of judging them harshly, I wondered what was weighing on them. Asking that question built empathy, deepening our bond because I chose understanding over resentment. It's like building a bridge between hearts, making your relationships richer and more real. The Stoics knew this. Epictetus, who went from slavery to teaching wisdom, and Marcus Aurelius, who ruled with a philosopher's heart, both saw that mastering your mind isn't a solo act, it lifts everyone around you. Think about your own life for a sec. When's the last time a small thing, like a spilled coffee or a rude email, got under your skin? What judgment did you pile onto it? Maybe it was, this is unfair. Or, they don't respect me. Next time, try flipping it. Could it be a chance to practice patience, or a sign to adjust your expectations? I once got irritated at a store clerk's slow service, but seeing it as their busy day, not my personal slight, changed how I handled it. This shift doesn't erase the emotion, it gives you the reins to guide it. That's where the growth happens, turning a spark of anger into a lesson, a connection, a stronger you. Ready to see how this plays out in real life? Let's move on and explore the next piece of this Stoic puzzle. Taking back control. Focusing on what you can handle. Here's where it gets really interesting. Stoicism hands you a tool that's like a superpower for reclaiming your power, and it all boils down to focusing on what you can control. Marcus Aurelius, that wise Roman emperor who faced everything from betrayals to plagues, nailed it when he said the real strength lies in knowing the difference between what's yours to manage and what's not. Let's break that down. Pause. You control your thoughts, the way you think about a situation, the stories you tell yourself. You control your decisions, the choices you make in the heat of the moment. And you control your actions, how you show up, what you do next. That's it. Everything else, other people's choices, the weather, the past, even big chunks of the future, they're out of your hands, no matter how much you wish you could change them. But here's the cool part, the part that flips the script. By zeroing in on your own reactions, you stop wasting energy on the uncontrollable, the stuff that's just going to drain you, and you start investing in what you can actually shape. It's like redirecting your focus to where it matters most, where you can make a real difference. Let's make this real with a scenario we've all faced. Say you're working on a group project, maybe for school or at your job, and someone on your team isn't pulling their weight. They're missing deadlines, not showing up, and it feels like you're carrying the whole load. It's tempting to fume, right? To let that frustration bubble up, maybe even lash out or stew in resentment. But pause for a second. Ask yourself, what can I control in this situation? You can't force your teammate to work harder. That's their choice, not yours. But you can control how you respond to the challenge. Maybe you have a calm conversation about expectations, laying out what needs to happen. Or you suggest a new plan, splitting tasks in a way that keeps things moving forward. You can even take on what you're able to handle while communicating clearly about the impact. I've done this myself. Once, a teammate completely slacked off on a presentation, and I was ready to lose it. But instead, I took a breath, proposed splitting the tasks differently, and we got it done. The stress just melted away, and honestly, I felt stronger for it, like I'd taken back the reins of the situation. Let's try another one. Picture yourself stuck in traffic, the kind where you're barely moving, and you're already late for something important. You can't control the cars ahead of you, the roadwork, or the guy who decided to merge at the last second. But what can you control? Your reaction. You can pop on an audiobook, let a story whisk you away, or turn on some calming music that soothes your nerves. Or just breathe deep, letting each exhale take a bit of that tension with it. I've been there, stuck on a highway, watching the clock tick, but instead of yelling at the windshield, I started listening to a podcast I'd been meaning to check out. By the time I got to my destination, I wasn't just calmer, I'd learned something new. It's a small shift, but it's powerful. This focus on what you can control doesn't just solve the moment. It builds a resilient mindset over time, one that makes life's ups and downs feel less shaky, less overwhelming. You start to see that while the world might throw chaos your way, you've got a steady hand on the wheel of your own response. I've noticed this in my own life. After practicing this, a bad day doesn't derail me like it used to. A rude email might sting, but I can decide to reply with clarity, not heat. A rained-out plan might disappoint, but I can pivot to something else with a smile. It's like building a mental fortress, brick by brick, where you're in charge of your peace, not the chaos around you. And the best part? This is just the beginning. There's so much more to explore about how Stoicism can reshape your days. Let's build on this and see what's next. Mindful moments. Pausing to find your calm. Let's shift gears now and talk about something that pairs beautifully with Stoicism. Mindfulness, a practice that can help you pause between life's punches and your reactions, giving you the space to respond with intention. Ever notice how quick we are to snap back when someone upsets us? Maybe a friend makes a comment that rubs you the wrong way, or a coworker dismisses your idea in a meeting, and before you know it, you're firing off a sharp reply, the words spilling out faster than you can catch them. It's almost automatic, like a reflex wired into us. But mindfulness flips that on its head. It gives you that precious space to step back, breathe, and choose a response that fits your values, not just your fleeting emotions. It's like hitting a mental pause button, a moment where you get to decide instead of just reacting on autopilot. I've been there myself. Someone cut me off mid-sentence during a heated chat, and my first urge was to fire back with something snappy, to match their energy with my own. But I caught myself, took a deep breath, and instead said, "Let's clear this up," with a calm tone that surprised even me. That shift felt empowering, like I'd taken back control of the moment instead of letting it control me. That's the kind of power mindfulness brings. Doesn't that sound like something worth trying? So, why bother with this at all? Because it keeps you from those moments of regret, the ones where you wish you could take back a harsh word or an impulsive reaction that didn't reflect who you really are. Mindfulness helps you align your actions with the person you want to be, Someone steady, thoughtful, grounded in their values. It's like a filter that lets you sift through the emotional noise and pick a response that feels true to you. Imagine how different your relationships could be if you approached every frustration with that kind of clarity. Fewer arguments, more understanding, deeper connections. I've seen this in my own life. After practicing mindfulness, I've had conversations that could have turned into shouting matches but instead became moments of growth. Like the time my sibling and I disagreed on something small, and instead of escalating, I paused, listened, and we ended up laughing it off. That's the magic of giving yourself that space. Let's make this practical. Here's how you can start bringing mindfulness into your day. When anger hits, and you feel that heat rising, focus on your breathing. Take slow, deep breaths, inhale for a count of 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and feel how it pulls you back from the edge, like a wave gently retreating from the shore. It's a simple trick, but it works wonders to anchor you in the moment. Or try this. Pick a simple task, something ordinary, like sipping your morning coffee, and really soak it in. Notice the warmth of the mug in your hands, the rich aroma as it hits your senses, the taste as it rolls over your tongue. Turn it into a moment of pure focus. I've done this on stressful days, standing in my kitchen, just me and my cup, and it's like a mini reset for my mind. That practice trains you to handle bigger frustrations with the same calm, the same presence. I remember a day when everything was going wrong, deadlines piling up, emails flooding in, and I took 5 minutes to focus on my breathing, on the feel of my feet on the floor. It didn't fix the chaos, but it gave me the clarity to tackle it without losing my cool. Mindfulness and Stoicism go hand in hand because they both ask you to be aware of your thoughts, your reactions, the moment you're in. The Stoics believed in maintaining control over how you respond to life's chaos, and mindfulness gives you the tools to do just that. It's like building a bridge between what happens and how you handle it, letting you cross over with grace instead of tumbling into the river of reaction. This practice doesn't just help in the moment, it shapes you over time, making you someone who can face life's punches with a steady heart. And here's the best part, it ties into something even bigger that the Stoics loved to talk about. Let's keep going and uncover the next layer of this journey together. Embracing change, the beauty of impermanence. Now, let's talk about a Stoic gem that ties all these ideas together in a way that can truly set you free, the concept of impermanence. Here's the big truth the Stoics remind us of: nothing lasts forever. Not the good moments that make your heart soar, not the bad ones that weigh you down, not even that anger bubbling up inside you like a storm ready to break. Life's a constant flow, a river that's always moving, always changing, and understanding that can ease the frustration when things don't go as planned. Think about those times when life throws you a curveball. Maybe a job promotion you were counting on slipped through your fingers, leaving you disappointed and questioning your worth. Or perhaps a relationship you cherished ended unexpectedly, and the pain felt like it would never fade. Our first instinct is often to resist, to dig in our heels, to get mad at the unfairness of it all, as if we can hold on to the way things should be. But what if you saw that change as temporary, like a passing wave in the ocean of your life? What if you let it roll over you, knowing it won't last, and looked for the growth hiding within it? I've felt this shift in my own life, and it's been a game changer. I remember planning a picnic with friends, picturing a perfect day, sun shining, laughter filling the air, the whole deal. But then the rain came, pouring down and washing away my plans. At first, I was grumpy, muttering about how it wasn't fair, how the day was ruined. But then I took a step back and thought, this rain won't last forever. That realization helped me pivot. I invited everyone inside, we made hot cocoa, and ended up having the coziest time, laughing over board games instead of frisbee. That rainy day turned into a memory I cherish, all because I let go of resisting the change and embraced what it brought instead. It's like the Stoics say, life's impermanence isn't something to fight, it's something to flow with, to learn from. Let's take this a bit further. Try reflecting on life's changes in your own world. Watch the seasons shift, how the leaves fall and bloom again, a quiet reminder that nothing stays the same. Notice how your moods ebb and flow throughout the day. One moment you're stressed, the next you're laughing at a silly memory. Think about your friendships, how they've evolved over time. Some have faded, others have deepened in ways you never expected. When disruptions come, like a delayed project or a canceled plan, see them as chances to adapt, to grow stronger. I've had moments like this. A project I was working on got delayed, and at first, I was frustrated, thinking I'd failed. But stepping back, I realized it taught me patience, how to plan better, how to communicate more clearly with my team. That tough moment shifted into a lesson that made me better at what I do. This awareness of impermanence does something beautiful. It frees you. It reduces the sting of setbacks because you know they're not permanent. That missed promotion. It's a detour, not the end of your story. Maybe it's pushing you toward a path you haven't seen yet. That breakup. It hurts, but the pain will soften, and you'll grow through it, discovering new parts of yourself. At the same time, this mindset boosts the joy of good times because you're fully present, soaking them in, knowing they're fleeting too. I've started savoring small joys more, like a quiet evening walk with the sun setting, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, because I know it's a moment that won't last, and that makes it even more precious. The Stoics believed this understanding helps you live lighter, less burdened by what you can't hold on to, and more open to what's next. So, let's keep peeling back these layers of wisdom. There's even more to dive into. Ready for the next step in this Stoic journey? Let's dive in and see what's waiting for us. Digging deeper. Understanding your emotions. Let's go deeper into something that can really transform how you live, your emotions. And here's where Stoicism drops a truth bomb that might just change your perspective. The Stoics teach us that our emotions don't come straight from the events happening around us, like some automatic switch being flipped. Nope, they stem from how we perceive those events, the lens we use to look at the world. Think about it. If someone interrupts you while you're speaking, and you feel that sharp sting of anger rising, it's not the interruption itself that's fueling that fire. It's what you're telling yourself about it. Do you feel disrespected, like your voice doesn't matter? Is it tapping into an old insecurity, maybe a fear of not being heard that's been lurking for years? Digging into that question, peeling back the layers, can shift your entire view of the moment. It's like turning on a light in a dark room, showing you a path forward instead of just reacting in the heat of it all. I've been there myself. Once, I got upset over a critique at work, my mind racing with the thought that it meant I'd failed, that I wasn't good enough. But then I paused, asked myself, is this true? And realized it was just feedback, a chance to grow, not a judgment of my worth. That shift turned a moment of frustration into a stepping stone, and it felt like a weight lifted off my shoulders. So, how do you start digging into your emotions like this? It's all about getting curious, like you're a detective in your own mind. One powerful way is journaling. Grab a notebook or even your phone, and write down what you're feeling. Let it all spill out. Why are you mad? What triggered it? Over time, you'll start spotting patterns, those little triggers that set you off again and again. I've done this, scribbling down my thoughts after a rough day, and it was like connecting the dots. Suddenly, I saw how a snappy comment from a friend wasn't about me, but about their stress, and that softened my reaction next time. Another approach. Chat with a friend you trust, someone who gets you. Spill your feelings, and let them offer a fresh perspective. I've had moments where a quick talk turned a heated argument into a learning experience, like when I vented about a family disagreement and realized I'd misread their intent. It's not about burying your emotions or pretending they don't exist. That's not the Stoic way. It's about shaping them, molding them to fit your goals, to align with the person you want to become. This process builds something incredible. Resilience, that inner strength that lets you navigate life's ups and downs with confidence. When you understand your emotions, you're not at their mercy anymore. You're steering the ship. I've seen this play out in my own life. After journaling about a stressful week, I noticed I got rattled by unexpected changes, so I started preparing better, turning chaos into calm. Or think about a time you felt jealous over someone else's success. Digging into it, you might find it's less about them and more about your own goals needing attention. That insight lets you channel that energy into your own growth, not resentment. The Stoics believed this self-awareness is key to mastering yourself, to living with purpose instead of being tossed by every wave of feeling. Imagine how this could change your days, facing a rude comment with curiosity instead of a quick comeback, turning a setback into a lesson instead of a defeat. It's like building a foundation of confidence that holds steady no matter what comes your way. I've had friends notice this shift in me. After a tough moment, they've said, "You handle things so well," and it's because I've learned to ask, "What's this teaching me?" This isn't a one-time fix. It's a practice, a journey of getting to know yourself better. And the best part? It's just the start. There's more wisdom to build on. So, let's keep going and see where this path takes us next. The power of patience, turning weights into wins. Now, let's wrap our heads around a Stoic virtue that might just change how you move through your days. patience. But hold on, this isn't just about sitting around waiting for things to happen. It's about staying cool and collected while life throws delays your way, turning those moments into something more than just lost time. Picture those slow grocery lines where the person ahead is fumbling with coupons, or those traffic jams where you're inching along, watching the clock tick louder with every minute. It's easy to start fuming, feeling that irritation creep up, ready to boil over. But the Stoics saw this differently. They saw it as a chance to practice calm, a way to strengthen your inner peace even when the world doesn't cooperate. The trick: adjust your expectations. Delays are part of life, not a personal attack, and use that time wisely, like listening to a podcast that sparks your curiosity or reflecting on something that matters to you. It's like turning a frustrating pause into a gift, if you're willing to see it that way. I've put this into action myself, and trust me, it's been a game changer. There was a time I got stuck in traffic, bad enough that I could see the minutes slipping away, my mind racing with how late I'd be. My old self would have been pounding the steering wheel, muttering curses under my breath. But instead, I popped on an audiobook, let a story pull me in, and by the time I got to my destination, I wasn't just calmer, I'd picked up a new idea or two to chew on. It turned a delay into a win, a moment of growth instead of a meltdown. That's the Stoic way, taking what life hands you and making it work for you. And it's not just about traffic. Think of waiting for a friend who's running late, or sitting through a meeting that drags on. Those moments can test your patience, but they're also opportunities to practice staying steady. Mindfulness plays a big role here too. It's like a secret weapon to dodge that restless, antsy feeling that creeps in when you're stuck. Stay present, focus on the now, feel the rhythm of your breathing, notice the world around you, like the hum of the car engine or the chatter in the store. I've done this during a long wait at a doctor's office, tuning into the sound of the clock ticking, letting it anchor me instead of letting my mind spin with impatience. It's a simple shift, but it keeps you from spiraling into frustration. And here's a pro tip: celebrate those small wins. When you manage to stay calm in a situation that would have set you off before, give yourself a mental high five, maybe even a treat like a favorite snack. I started doing this, and it's turned patience into a habit, something I lean into naturally now. This approach transforms those waits into growth moments, boosting your peace in ways you might not expect. It's not about pretending delays don't bug you. It's about building a resilience that lets you roll with them. I've noticed this in my own life. After practicing patience, a rained-out plan didn't ruin my day. I pivoted to a cozy movie night, and the shift felt effortless. Or when a colleague was slow with a reply, I used the time to organize my desk, turning a potential irritation into productivity. The Stoics believed patience isn't passive, it's active, a virtue that shapes how you face life's rhythm. It teaches you to let go of what you can't control and embrace what you can, your attitude, your next step. This mindset doesn't just get you through the moment, it builds a foundation of calm that carries you forward, making you someone who handles life's pauses with grace. We're almost at the end of this journey, but there's still one piece to tie it all together. Let's keep going and see how these Stoic ideas weave into a bigger picture. Stay with me, because it's worth it. Forgiveness and freedom, letting go with strength. Finally, let's touch on something that can bring a deep sense of peace into your life: forgiveness, but done the Stoic way. Now, this isn't about excusing wrongs or pretending they never happened, and it's definitely not about forgetting the sting of someone's actions. No, Stoic-style forgiveness is about freeing yourself from the heavy weight of grudges, letting go of that baggage that drags you down day after day. It starts with a simple truth: we all mess up. You've had your moments, maybe a harsh word slipped out, or you let someone down, and so have the people around you. Reflect on your own flaws for a second. Pause. See how you're human, just like them. Then, reframe your story, not as a victim caught in someone else's mess, but as a survivor, someone who can rise above the hurt and find strength in letting it go. I've lived this myself. Once, a friend said something harsh that cut deep, and my first instinct was to hold on to the hurt, replaying it like a broken record. But then I stepped back, saw they were struggling with their own stress, not targeting me, and that shift let me release the pain. It wasn't about excusing them, it was about freeing myself, and that felt like a quiet victory. So, how do you start walking this path of forgiveness? It's a practice, not a one-time fix, and it begins with a little effort. Try meditating. Find a quiet spot, close your eyes, and focus on your breathing. As you settle in, picture those who've wronged you, and send them a silent wish of goodwill, like a gentle, "I hope you find peace." It's not about accepting what they did or inviting them back into your life. It's about releasing their hold over your heart, lightening your load one step at a time. I've done this after a falling out with a coworker, imagining them finding calm amid their chaos, and it didn't erase the past, but it eased the knot in my chest. This process takes time. Some days it's a struggle, others it flows, but each small step forward chips away at the weight, leaving you lighter, more at peace. Pair this with self-control, another Stoic cornerstone, and you've got a recipe for a balanced life. Self-control is about pausing before you react, taking that breath when anger flares, giving yourself a moment to align your response with your goals. Maybe you want to be someone who builds bridges, not burns them, or someone who stays true to kindness even when it's hard. I've practiced this when a family member snapped at me over a misunderstanding. Instead of firing back, I paused, thought about my goal of keeping our bond strong, and said, "Let's talk this out." It turned a potential fight into a moment of connection. Together, forgiveness and self-control create a harmony in your life, letting you move through challenges with a steady heart, not a clenched fist. This journey we've been on, it's not just about you or me, it's about transforming together. I've seen how letting go of grudges and choosing calm has shifted my days, making room for joy where there was once tension. I've had friends notice it too. After a tough moment, they've said, "You handle things with such grace," and it's because I've leaned into these Stoic tools. You can do this too. Start small, reflect on a hurt, practice that pause, and watch how it builds your resilience. Thanks for joining me at Stoic Journal on this adventure. We're growing, learning, transforming one step at a time. Don't stop here. Check out the suggested videos to keep this journey going. There's so much more wisdom to uncover, and I can't wait to see where it takes us next. Keep shining, keep practicing, and let's thrive together.